Shalom, shalom. All right, Shabbat shalom. First and foremost, we'd like to say, call Halayim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone that taught us the truth, the apostles and elders of all Israel. Shalom and salutations to the hopeful elect Akim out there spreading the gospel throughout the four corners of the earth in sincerity and truth. Spreading the gospel throughout the four corners of the earth. All right. Risking their lives and freedom, because a lot of people don't actually realize what we're doing through conveying these messages. So I really have to stress that. All right. Shalom and salutations once again to those brothers. Shalom to the very few sisters that do listen up and just listen up as well. I'm the brother Yarmaya from the Great Millstone Chicago camp.
It's the brother Batakallah.
And yeah, basically I was just coming to you with another lesson, you know, a motivational lesson, so to speak, an exhortation, an uplifting lesson, man. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is doing a lot for us in the short, you know, and through the long run, you know, brothers, we know, you know, us being the hopeful elect, that we're going to get spiritual powers. We're going to get many women, so to speak. We're going to get the divine intervention to lift up his standard for us, you know, because the scripture says when the enemy comes in, the Spirit shall lift up a standard. The enemy comes in like a flood in Isaiah, you know. It says the enemy shall come in like a flood and the Spirit shall lift up a standard. Hey, on a smaller level, the enemy has been came in and the Lord has been lifting up his standard, you know. Going into, like the apostle of the Ram Lab says, you know, knowing his truth is the beginning of spiritual powers.
That's right.
So, when we know this, we actually understand that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is fighting for us. And the Lord, finding favor with the Lord, you know, he rewards you with different accolades, whether it be you seeing 144, you know, on something. That's a faith booster, depending on how you receive it. Whether you being down on your ass and getting a couple dollars here and there, or coming up on a little woman and shit, and y'all cool and y'all work, you know, handle y'all business or whatever. Or some dudes might see you, you know, through some noble act you may have done, through your integrity, through being a man in the truth, just finding favor. They might buy you a drink or something, but all that is the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, working and showing you that in these latter days, he'll be with you when this shit really hit the fan and when the enemy really comes and those troops really come in and try to put the foot in our ass.
That's it.
You got the scripture?
Con. This is Proverbs chapter 3, and I'm going to start at verse 3. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thine heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of Yahweh. Salakia. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of Yahweh and man.
And that's what we find, you know. It's been more than enough, especially here in Chicago. You know, I remember when we had the camp, mostly, you know, on State and Adams, you know, when we had the big camps down there before the shit started going on in the world. You know, we had world-class golfers. You know, dudes who would make it their fucking business to come to the line every week and talk shit and say this and that. We literally seeing these dudes change and say, you know what, man? Hey, these guys real. Well, you know what? When we walk past, we just gonna walk past now. And we gonna shut the fuck up when we do it. Because even the 2/3, whether they could explain it or not, they actually understand that when it comes to the men of Great Millstone and the prophets, they actually know it takes a lot to really go down there so faithfully, to really go down there so sincerely, to really go down there with such diligence. They know what happens in the average Negro or Latino's life, or Native American dude's life, to actually take his time out and really convey that message. And we ain't out there begging. We ain't out there asking for fucking money. We ain't out there trying to speak sweet words to convey to people. If we were doing that, they wouldn't be scoffing.
That's right.
We done shut a lot of fucking mouths through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And that was that peace and that was that favor, man. And those dudes that actually tell other dudes who talking shit, hey, man, look, them the brothers. They don't know what the fuck we talking about.
That's right.
But they just know we the brothers.
Even with the law, man.
Yep.
And I wasn't around for those encounters, but the brothers have already made it abundantly clear that even with Esau and these centurions,
Yeah.
you will find favor because the Most High is with you. And this is not something that's brand new in the earth, man. Let's make that very clear, because guess what? The prophet Daniel found favor in Babylon when Nebuchadnezzar, a fucking lunatic, was ready to kill any and everybody over shit that he was letting niggas slide. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was ready to kill Daniel for not wanting to bow down to his gods. And then he found out that Daniel's gods was real. And then he almost tried to kill Daniel again for the same reason until Daniel broke the vision down.
Hey, that was a heathen. I'm going to take it deep.
No logic, man.
It's deep. I'm going to take it deeper than that, man. Abed Melech, all right? He was a Hamitic king during the time of Abraham. Abraham, you know, as the scriptures say by the beloved elder apostle, the apostle Paul, he said what? Being deceivers and yet true. Abraham told him Sarah was his sister, so he wouldn't kill him, because he actually understood the ancient customs.
That's right.
But that Hamitic king, he had a dream, or it was revealed to him, to my knowledge, it was revealed to him that Sarah was his wife. He said he gave her back and gave him safe passage. He said he knew he was, because he knew he was a holy man. He knew he was a man that was favored of the Lord. He said, why did you tell me this was your wife? Why did you tell me this was your sister? I would have been killed. And this is the king. He knew what no nigga just gonna run up and touch him. He knew through divine intervention that he would have really got moved on for transgression against one of the prophets.
That's right.
The Lord always showed the prophets favor throughout all the times, man. And right now, he's going to show the multitude of the prophets the favor. And you see it in your daily life through small increments. But brothers really got to realize that when they complaining, because I done been there, you know, when they complaining or when they feel down on their luck or when they feel like they can't even do shit but lay in the bed into the kingdom. No, man, the Lord is working a great work for us every single day. But you really have to do like the elder apostle Tahar say, man, you got to filter everything through spiritual eyes. It might be some shit that you just think of some foolishness. Everything is filtered through the scriptures, man. But the Lord is working the work, and he's showing a great favor in the earth right now amongst the brotherhood worldwide. And every brother has these small testimonies, stories, so forth and so on. You know, I just want to elaborate that no matter what you take this is, brother, it's all the work of the Lord.
That's it. And, you know, just to get a quick precept about
God.
where all of this stuff starts at, man, because, you know, yeah, is it possible to find favor with the Lord? Of course it is. And, you know, the brother had gone into an example with Abraham, and, you know, we brought out what happened with Daniel when he was dealing with Nebuchadnezzar as well. But where did those men start to be able to procure that favor? Where did they harvest that favor from? And, you know, it's going to tell you right here in this Psalms 111 and 10, man. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever. And this is King David speaking, if I'm not mistaken. Now, somebody else might have wrote the psalm, but, you know, just for right now, to my knowledge, that's who wrote this one. And, you know, if I'm wrong, Lord willing, correction will come. But this is a man that had everything, man, but he understood that everything he had was, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. And that's why he continued to have favor in his life, even when he went off, because he did go off, and we all go off in this flesh. That's not really something that we have ultimate control over. But,
Hey, when he went off, it still was an example. The scriptures refer to it as the sure mercies of David, because it showed that you, no matter how high you is in this thing, you still can succumb to the flesh. And it also shows you, no matter how low you is, because he felt very bad about that, especially when the prophet, you know, came and broke it down to him what he did. It shows you, no matter how high you is, you still succumb to the flesh. It shows you, no matter how low you are, you still can be brought up by the Lord, and you fuck up. That's a beautiful story. But the scriptures sincerely refers to that. It's the sure mercies of David. That's what we all looking for.
That's right.
That's what we all looking for. Because I done did worse than him, trust and believe me.
That's it. Both of us, man. But ultimately, you know, that fear of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is what carried David through that ordeal, man. And, you know, Lord willing, if we continue to live in that same stead and continue to have that same mentality to the best of our ability, Salakia, if we continue to have that same mentality to the best of our ability, we can receive the same mercies that David received, man, and be of that number, you know, Lord willing. But it's not to say that these things are not attainable, man. All of these things are written aforetime for our learning and for proof of what's possible, man.
That's right.
Because we live in a world right now where they're going to tell you what's not going to happen, what you can't do, what can't go down, what's impossible. But, you know, when the Lord opens your eyes up and blesses you with the ability to hear, understand, and hopefully apply these scriptures to the best of your ability, you start to really understand what real possibility is, man, and what really can happen, which is really anything that's in the will of the Lord, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, men have gone through far worse things, man, and come out on the other side because of their fear of the Lord. Look at Noah, man. He survived a global extinction event, man, because of his fear of the Lord, not because he was smarter than everybody. Was he smart to hear the word of the Lord and act on it? Of course. But it don't say that Noah was an elder statesman in his society, to my knowledge.
I mean, the thing about it is, shit. Of course he was smarter than him because he did what he did, but at the same time, he wasn't held in no self-esteem in society. You had niggas literally talking shit, man. You gotta really visualize this, man. You know, niggas was walking up to the
And we
ark,
talking about
talking shit, throwing rock. They niggas
for
was
hundreds
probably-
of years,
that's
for hundreds of years. Salakia, my bad.
It was about
But for
a little over 100
for a
years.
long time, niggas was talking shit, man.
Man, they was throwing rocks at the boat, you know, telling him he was a kook. They probably called him, they favored it out, especially out here, a snow dummy. A nigga in a dress, you know. And to my knowledge, it was 120 years. A little over that, a little over 100 years.
Longer than the average lifespan right now, man.
And niggas was talking shit. So, you know, a nigga, you know, he get discouraged when this woman talk bad about him and leave him, or, you know, he can't eat pork at the barbecue with his cousin Ray Ray.
Come on,
and you
man.
like to get discouraged, man, get the fuck out of here.
100 years, man, of
Of
ridicule, scoff, and torment from everybody, bro. Not just because the brother mentioned your resident scoffers from before. No, we're not just
Yeah.
talking about 2 or 3 niggas that make it their business to hate on motherfuckers,
Everybody.
man. We talking about every person that see you doing this is coming and they got shit to talk to you
And they was
about.
bringing their kids. You know, they was bringing, hey, look at this crazy nigga. Look at this crazy nigga. Hey, and that's why Paul had to reiterate it. What we do is called the foolishness of preaching. Because what Noah was doing was preaching.
That's it.
He was letting them know destruction is coming. He was blowing the trumpet. Destruction is coming.
Not taking no days off. Not saying it's too cold outside, I'm not going to do my job. He was out there not just preaching the word, because though him going out and preaching is an action in and of itself. But let's talk about the action of him getting up every day and building that ark.
That's right.
That's active preaching.
And it takes faith
Without
to do
words. That's I'm going to do something to preach. Not just because going out and preaching on the line is doing something. I don't want to make it seem like that's not. But
He had a physical burden. See, right now,
Exactly.
we building a spiritual ark, and through building a spiritual ark, the new ark is gonna save us, which is the chariots. But he had a physical labor on top of a spiritual labor, you know, that a lot of dudes wouldn't have been equipped to deal with.
And just as a man, you know, because I don't know if this is facts or not, But I would say that it's not hard to believe that them niggas was probably fucking his work up and everything.
Of course. Listen,
Because that's what hating ass niggas do.
Listen, man. Any job you doing, just off the fact of a nigga talking shit in your ear, that's enough. Try to do roofing or construction and just have some 8 niggas around fucking with you.
The whole day.
Try to dig a hole. Just go in this fucking field over here and try to dig a hole. It's a strenuous thing. That's why you can't be slothful in this work, and you can't feel bad for doing right.
That's right.
That's why the Lord Yahweh Shai himself said, if you are ashamed to confess me before men, I'm not gonna confess. He's not gonna confess you before the Father.
And it's so spiritual because just like the brother said, that we building this spiritual ark now, and a heavy emphasis is being put out, especially as of late, with, you know, from the Apostle Tahar on down, that there is no days off with this, man. And, you know, we really got a good deal, the fact that we're not obligated to go out every single day and do the work. Now, of course, the work is being done via videos and, you know, brothers are camping every day across the planet. But you as an individual don't have to go and stand on the line every day, because that's not a part of what the orders that have been given. But we are obligated weekly. But guess what, man? Noah had to build every day. When Noah was building that ark, he had to get up every day and do his work, because as soon as the ark was done being made, that's when the flood happened. If he'd have took days off, he wouldn't have had the ark done when the flood was coming, man. Wasn't no days off, man.
Now, we actually know that, you know, the Lord had him rest. We had to rest. Hey, and for another thing, if you really want to go into it, it was Noah understood the Sabbath. Adam had the law. So, yes, Noah took a day off. But he did his work when he had to do his work. And the Lord finds favors with men. The Lord gives you faith boosters, and he shows you favors, you know, when you keep your integrity and you keep your fortitude, and he tells you exactly what to do. Because during that scoff time, you know, and during that nigga time, you have to know that the Lord, Noah was in the flesh, man. You would have to know that the Lord showed that man things to boost his faith. Any day. Every day, probably, that he did that work. You got something else?
I'm good, brother.
Hey, man, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Hey, man, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is working a marvelous work, man. So, hey, you brothers out there laboring, keep laboring. Keep laboring. Keep working. You know, do your thing.
That's it.
You know, hopefully I do mine. They call it volume.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash.
Double honors to the elders and the apostles and elders of all Israel, the men of great millstone, and to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Shalom.